What's poppin'? What's good? You already know it's your girl, Miss Daisy. Welcome back to another episode of Chatting with Daisy. So today, I'm gonna be honest with you guys because I always want to be honest on this channel about how I'm feeling. I haven't been feeling the best lately. I don't know if it's hormones. It's definitely been a little gloomy, and it was sunnier earlier. That's why I wanted to film today, because I'm like, oh, the sun is out. I love having the sun, but it's still like really nice. The weather is still beautiful. So yeah, so I'm not, in the greatest I could possibly be right now, but I think that's the best time to make these type of videos because it allows me to talk about my experience and the things that are going on. And this channel is all about mindful and intuitive growth and healing. So it's fit for me to always be honest and talk when I'm not feeling the best. And I think when that happens, I tend to be around the time of my cycle, my menstrual cycle. That's when I tend to be a little more sensitive and things start to hit me a little more that didn't really hit me before. And also coming back from Jamaica also changed my whole view on my life now and who I am as a person. And I got very comfortable there. And I didn't quite prepare myself as much as I should have to come back here. So it's been quite of a challenge because Jamaica's hot, right? And then you come here and it's cold, and there's so much color in Jamaica. Everyone's houses are yellows, blues, purples, turquoise. Like there's colors everywhere, and then you come here and everyone's house is gray or red or just very dull colors, and you don't see a lot of color in the city or the suburbs. So it kind of bummed me out a bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a very colorful person, so I like that around me. And in the summer, there's more color, obviously, because of trees and the flowers. But in the winter, it tends to be a little more gloomy. But that comes to talk about what we're talking about today, which is the hibernation season. Now, a lot of people that my close friends that I hang out with, we kind of been on that wave of hibernation. And when I mean hibernation, it's not literally sleeping, but it's definitely a slowed down, more mellow energy. You tend to be more tired during the winter time. It gets, darker earlier in the day, so you tend to feel like your days are getting shorter on you, and you don't have the energy to carry on in your day sometimes. And, working on creative stuff tend to be a little more not harder, but you tend to slow down. You're not as moving as fast as you were in the summertime. And it definitely has to do with the cold, especially if you're living in a colder country. Seasonal depression, I didn't let it hit me this year because I'm like, I understood what seasonal depression was, which is just the changing of the weathers. And if you don't change with the season, you're going to get left behind. And that's when you start to live in, the past season. And as things are moving forward, time is going to move without you, regardless if you're ready or not. Time continuously flows. So for me, when I came back here, I was still in that Jamaica mindset of I want it to be hot, and I kept reminiscing, watching videos and looking at pictures, constantly thinking about, oh my gosh, I miss Jamaica so much, but I'm not in Jamaica anymore, I'm here. So for the first week I got back, I was actually sick. So I was at home most of the day. I didn't really get to see too much of everyone. It wasn't even the first day I got back. It was like a couple days after I got back, I got sick, and I think it was just the changing of the weather, and my body literally reacted on a physical level to the change. So I got a little sick. And then after that, I started to go back outside. And then because I wanted to come back and clean my room, I was trying to push myself to do things. But in my journal when I was in Jamaica, I wrote down something specifically that I think could help a lot of people, which is writing down the things that when I have the energy and the time and the space to do so, I will do it. So for example, cleaning my room. When I have space to do so, I will do it. At the time, I did not have the space. I was tired. I wasn't feeling well. I was a little, not anxious, I was a little depressed because I wanted to go back to Jamaica. So at the time, I didn't have any space. All my emotions were taking up the capacity of the energy that I could be giving to other things. But that's okay. It's not saying it's a bad thing. It's just saying that, be aware of those emotions because it's very easy to get caught up in them. Especially during the season, I feel like when it comes to the cold, I've always been a summer girl. I'm a summer baby. I was born in the summer. I've always loved summer. And I feel like in Canada, it's like the shortest season of the year. And yet it's my favorite. And it's a lot of people's favorite. There's more festivals, there's more things. You're more excited to go outside. I'm not saying that winter's bad or anything. But for me personally, I'm more excited to go outside in the summertime. There are amazing winter activities like tobogganing. I used to go with my family, skating outside. There's different things. There's winter festivals. Like, I still want to go outside. I still want to experience winter because not every country is able to experience that. Not every person is able to experience that. So for me personally, I want to experience winter, but it's just getting to a point now where, now that I'm a more creative individual in the sense that I am now publicly displaying my creativity. Before, when you're younger, you weren't really doing that. But now I'm publicly displaying it. I am working on projects now that require time and money and all that. It takes a toll on you when it starts to get colder outside. Like, I feel like for me personally, this is my season. Winter is kind of a slow down season, a season of rest. Like, I put in so much work in the summer and the spring, summer, and fall months that when winter comes around, it's like, okay, I want to slow down a bit. My body is literally telling me, let's catch up on some sleep. Let's make sure that we keep energizing our body because there's not a lot of sun during the season. So let's preserve our energy so that when the springtime and the summertime come around again, we are ready to go and we are on the move. So with that being said, I was watching a video today actually about kind of like the seasons and like the calendar. And for Kemetic, if you don't know what Kemet is, it was ancient. Kemet was before Egypt. And essentially during that time they followed a different calendar than we follow today. There's actually 13 months, not 12. So things were a bit different back then. But anyway, what I'm basically trying to say is when winter time came around, when famine, season came around, the preparation that they were doing during the harvesting season was preparing for the famine season, which is drought or snow or just, when things aren't able to grow. Back then it was about growing food, right? So those things weren't able to grow, so you had to kind of prepare yourself for those winter months because you weren't able to work in the farms or grow your own food back then during those times. Now it's easy for us because we can just go to the grocery store, but back then it was different. So I feel like on a spiritual level, I still resonate with that cycle because my body literally tells me during this time, I'm not moving as fast as I was before. Not saying that I'm not moving at all, but I'm taking slower and steadier steps. My steps are more timed, like in the aspect of like, as I take a step, I'm still preserving my energy. And I feel like there's nothing wrong. I know there's nothing wrong with that because as, a creative or as an entrepreneur or as somebody that is in the workforce, whatever you're doing, you put in a lot of work all year. All year you are working. We need breaks sometimes. We don't always need to be working and constantly moving our bodies. It's even shown in nature that they're not always constantly doing these things. So, hold on 1 second. I just want to fix this. You may not see a difference, but I see a difference. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, it's even shown in nature that things you need to slow down. You look at the trees, they lose their leaves. The trees lose their leaves every single fall, and they're okay with it. They're okay with showing their bare, esoteric body, the exoskeleton of a tree. They're used to change, and I feel like with the changing season, you have to change with it. You cannot stay behind and live. Obviously, you can reminisce, and obviously there's nostalgia, but we cannot live in a past season when we are now in a new season. Now that is on a as above and a so below. So as above, the seasons are changing, like physically, and so below is as within. So as within, we are changing as well. Our perspectives are changing. Our bodies are changing. The lack of sun, and maybe even if you're not going outside so much because you don't like the cold, the lack of fresh air that you're getting. Changes, your makeup inside your body, the way you're feeling. But the sun is a great serotonin for just making you smile. When you're outside and you're feeling the sun in your face, you can't help but be happy. It's like, oh, it's so nice outside. It's so warm. And we're just enjoying the good weather. So I know I can't speak for everyone, but I do feel like the collective is definitely going through not any spiritual warfare or anything like that, but I do feel like we are going through this kind of shift in energy. as we are in the winter months, where we tend to want to do a lot, but we don't have the energy to do so. It's like we need more rest in this season. We need more food. I gotta eat more. We gotta make sure that we are going outside and getting fresh air. We're going to being around people that we love. I feel like that's really important in this season too. Being around people that are like-minded with you, because this is kind of like the season that you're preparing to plant your seeds. You're preparing the seeds. You're making sure that everything's ready to go, so that when time comes, all you got to do is walk out the door. So it's kind of like preparation. Not saying that you're always constantly having to prepare for something, but you're allowing yourself to gradually get to the point of where you need to be. Mind you, the year just started. We're still in January. Yes, we're at the end of getting to the end of January, but we're still in the first month of the year. We got 11 more to go. So it's a lot of time. And also, since time is relative, we are able to move accordingly how we would like to move. We're not moving according to other people's timing. We're moving to our own timing. That's why to me, time is a mindset. You can time travel. And what I mean by time travel, you're able to revisit. Sorry about that. I don't know what just happened. I think my phone is starting to die. So let's just hurry this up real quick. This is the realest channel y'all ever gonna be on. I'm here. Okay, this is what's happening. We're working what we're working with, but I feel like when I'm here, I feel like I'm talking to you guys, and I feel comfortable, and I feel like whatever I have to say and whatever you have to say, we're able to communicate and share perspectives and grow together. But anyway, that's what I was saying. Yeah, we're able to time travel. We're able to revisit old memories about things that we have, went through in our past. That's time traveling. If you really want to say it, if you really want to look at it like literally, it's a time travel. You're going back in time. If you can tell me a whole story about something that happened in high school, you just time travel. So time is not linear. So you're able to revisit memories. You can go backwards, you can go forwards, not literally, but with your mind, and you're able to access things that can help you or maybe even propel you forward. I definitely believe that, the Akashic records, or whatever you want to call it, your memory from the ancestors, or whatever you follow, religion or whatever, I feel like there's definitely things that can be unlocked as we grow and progress as spiritual beings on earth. So definitely tap into your intuition, definitely tap into different thought patterns and perspectives that you necessarily wouldn't have thought you would, cater to. Having conversations with others definitely bring up our mood. I can say that. Just talking to somebody can make you feel a lot better. It doesn't even have to be about what you're feeling. It could just be about something random, even just going outside for a few moments, getting some fresh air. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Fresh air is amazing. Eating more vegetables and more fruits during the winter can uplift your mood. So if you're feeling like a little, not down, but just, it's a little gloomy outside, you're feeling like the weather, because we tend to feel how the weather looks outside. Just remind yourself that, you don't have to always conform to what is going on around you. You're able to make your own light, as you are light yourself. So continue to remind yourself that all is good. I continue to do it every day, because I realize that my mind is more powerful, way more powerful than they like to say. And I use your thoughts to better yourself, not to tear yourself down, because it's very easy to, tear yourself down and beat yourself up. But remember that your words have power within your mind and also out loud. So remember to keep in mind that yes, you could be manifesting out loud and saying all the great things, but if you're not saying those great things to yourself internally without having to say it out loud, the manifestation kind of like they collide, and you don't see it materialize. So yeah, hibernation season, man. I feel like we're all just kind of like, we're like little like in cocoons right now, and we're just kind of preparing for our wings to open up again. And I feel like we go through this every year and every season. We kind of move and we follow nature as much as, we've been a lot of us been disconnected from nature. We are very connected to its cycles and its patterns. And all you have to do is go look outside, and you'll start to see the resemblance to yourself and nature. So yeah, if you're feeling this way, if you're feeling down, just hit me up and we'll start talking about it, because I feel like just talking about it, having a conversation will allow you to realize that, you know, you're not alone. I think that's what everyone wants deep down, is to know that they're not alone, and that other people is probably feeling the same way as you. And it gives you a sense of ease, because we always tend to feel like, oh, like almost like the world around us is like we're in the center, and like there's everyone just around us, and we're kind of just there. And we tend to feel sometimes that, you know, is everyone else feeling this way? Am I just crazy? Is there something wrong with me? If you've ever asked yourself these questions, just have a conversation with somebody, and 9 times out of 10 they'll relate to you, because we don't like to talk about these things, but they're so necessary for our growth. It's such a humbling thing to have a conversation with someone that maybe even went through it worse than you, or going through it the same as you, or just can give you some advice about how they overcame it. And it'll really help you overcome those emotions and kind of like combat that seasonal depression, because honestly, it's very easy to get stuck in what I like to call the matrix, where it's kind of like you're just kind of moving and you're doing things, not really understanding, kind of like autopilot, I'd say. That's the best way I could say. Autopilot, just following and conforming to things that you necessarily wouldn't conform to just because it feels comfortable in the moment. So just be mindful of that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in on Chatting with Daisy Season 2, Episode 3. By now, I think I've started to post the last 2 episodes, so when you guys see those, let me know, and we'll chat soon. Have a good one.